Good morning to you. Folks, we are looking forward to another great live show today. We pride ourselves on being the area's only live, local talk and entertainment show. It's Virginia This Morning. Amy Lacey and I are proud to be your hosts. I'm Bill Bevins.
I am the Amy Lacey who you speak of this morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to all of you, our friends and viewers of the show. We enjoy being able to come together for another hour of great programming, and we are happy that you are along for the ride this morning. We've made it to Wednesday, hump day, whatever you want to call it. It is
high point.
High point.
Yeah, and we coast down towards the weekend.
There we go.
And the flowers are gorgeous. We've had these flowers since Monday, I guess, but man, they're really starting to pop now.
Well, yeah, we had yesterday, we had strawberry fields, flowers, and finds on, and they do these for us each and every week. And we learned a lot about clipping the flowers, and you know, sometimes the tulips continue to grow and everything else. So it's always fun to have those kinds of segments.
Segment. And of course, like all our segments, you can go back and watch them anytime, and we'll get to all of that in a few minutes. But you're feeling better, I can tell.
Yesterday I was about 60%. Today I'm about 75. So I'm getting there. By the end of the week, I'm going to be 100 again.
Woo-hoo.
But you know what? Flu is no joke, everybody. This is your public service announcement. Take care of yourself, because once you get down, it takes a little bit to get back up.
Yeah, but we are up today and we're ready to rock and roll on a Wednesday. Now is the time to start our preview, and we'll send it over to our very own Kristen Lors. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, good morning. Hello, Mr. B, Amy, everyone that's watching us from home, work, or on wtvr.com. Now, there are certain food items that just go great together. Think about it. Peanut butter and jelly, sausage and peppers. The list goes on and on. When it's cold outside, hearty tomato soup and grilled cheese. Always a hit. Our great friend and food truck owner, Tiara Terrell, is here to make this popular combination just for us.
Oh my goodness, that is one of my absolute favorites. And you know, when you haven't been feeling all that great, that's one of those familiar dishes that
that puts the comfort in comfort food.
Absolutely. Well, calling all ladies, Stony Point Fashion Park presents the inaugural Ladies Night Out, and you are invited. Alexis Cheeseman is here and will share all the fun details coming up a little later on today's live show. I can't wait for the details of that. I think I've earned a Ladies Night Out.
It's Ladies Night. And okay, all right, Katie Hardell is the Sports Relations and Community Engagement Manager with Chesterfield County, and she brought along their beloved mascot. That's Cole. Yay, Cole. And we'll connect with Katie and talk about some of the fun things that they have planned. That conversation's coming up in our second half hour.
Now we do want to get a check of the midweek forecast with our own mascot. This is CBS 6 meteorologist Tom Patton. Tom, you are the Virginia This Morning mascot. I've called it this morning. It's official.
It's delightful. Maybe I'll run around, shake some hands with people, and
you can do it.
Yeah.
What is Cole? Is Cole
I think he's a raccoon.
Raccoon?
Well, but I just got it. I think it's spelled C-O-L-E.
Is he a raccoon? Yes.
But I'm thinking it's also related to C-O-A-L.
That's what I
Cole
thought.
with the mining history, with the miner there. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, when Cole walked in, I said, because I wanted to beat you to the punch, finally somebody in the studio with a head that's bigger than mine.
Bill, you know, sort of true. I opened the door for you earlier, and I had to, like, open the door. It wasn't just like a here you go, Bill. It was like one of those.
Yep.
You need some help with that?
I'm good.
All right, well, lovely to see the two of you together once again. Kristen in the studio as well. We've got a for late January, outside of it being windy today, you know, come on now, people. We're looking at temperatures of 50 degrees right now at 9 o'clock in the morning. Dew point of 25. Sustained winds at 14. We're going to see gusts probably 25 plus, maybe even 30 plus at times today, but nonetheless warm. Upper 40s to around 50 throughout the metro. 64 today, mostly sunny, windy, warmer. And tonight we'll have a little front come through and it'll drop our temperatures back. Probably the lower 30s and upper 20s later tonight. But in the meantime, looking pretty good. Sunshine from Pennsylvania down through the Carolinas this morning, all through the mid-Atlantic. All right, we're going to be tracking some rain, though, so we're going to have some big-time changes as far as weather type goes. It's not going to get real cold or anything, but we're going to go from sunshine and wind today to some rain by tomorrow night and during the day Friday. So we'll stop this here. Thursday night, 11, some showers, and then we'll have some rain coming in through the morning. Should be a wet commute Friday with periods of rain through the day, and then done by Friday afternoon. And the good thing is at least it's going to be done for the weekend, so any kind of Saturday activities outdoor should be okay. But if you had anything outdoor on Friday, it's going to be wet. There you go. We can use the moisture, I suppose. All right, we could see an inch or more of rain in many cases, so it should be a pretty decent rain. It's kind of a sustained rain. And temperatures, though, will try to warm up during this. We're going to have a warm front try to wiggle its way northward. Sometimes when it's raining, it's a little tough to, but if it can, yeah, we can make it to the low 60s. 50 Saturday, more clouds Sunday, and around 50. And we have a chance to see a couple 60-degree days again next week. How about them apples, all right? All right, hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
Hey everybody, hello sunshine. That is each and every one of you, and this guy too. Happy Wednesday to you. We pride ourselves in being up on the latest trends both in and around Central Virginia. I'm Amy Lacey.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
I'm Bill Bevins, and hello to all of our friends and viewers of the show. So we're off to a great start this morning. I love it when we have a lot of guests in the studio.
There's a great energy in here.
Yeah, definitely so. We're going to have a lot of fun today. And as Tom mentioned, springtime in January is not such a bad thing after the most of January that we've already had this year.
Yeah, yesterday I think I coined it the big thaw of 2025, which, you know, I think that we all earned it because it was Arctic for a while.
So, you know how on Facebook, like 1 year ago today, the shot will show up. So 1 year ago today, I took a picture of me with the rag top down.
Nice.
Driving up the driveway. And said, I think it was 70 something or something like that.
Okay, so
really nice. So we're getting closer.
We're on that kind of a trend, and that's the kind of trend that we like. We don't need any more of the winter to come back because it seems.
I'm not a big fan.
No.
I think it will be.
Yeah, I think it's time for spring to sprung. The spring has sprung.
It's around the corner.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, there it is.
We'll take what we can get.
All right. For those of you who are just joining us, Kristen is going to start off with a recap of today's highlights.
You betcha. Chef and food truck entrepreneur Tiara Terrell is here, longtime friend of the show. She's got a great comfort food combination, tomato basil soup and grilled cheese. They just go together. She'll put it together coming up in about 30 minutes or so.
That sounds delicious. And our friends from Chesterfield County has some great things in store. Katie Hardell is here along with Cole the mascot. Katie will fill us in on some of the highlights that they have planned over the course of the next few months. Always so much to do in Chesterfield.
But wait, there's more. But you have to stay tuned. All right, Amy, guess what time it is?
Oh, no.
It's time for this week's word game. Where'd that come from? Okay, for those of you at home, here's how we play the game. I mentioned a word and/or phrase. Over the years, you've probably even used it in conversation. The objective is to figure out the origins of that word or phrase, where it comes from. Today's phrase, fork over the money. All right, Amy, remember the rules now. You can't give multiple answers.
Okay.
One answer.
So you
fork over the money, Amy.
You go with your gut.
Okay.
And I picture that American Gothic painting of the farmer with the pitchfork. It's a pitchfork, something agricultural. That's all I got for you. I've been under the weather for like a week. Bill, have pity on me.
Fork over the money.
Something with agriculture, though. You know, it has to do with using the pitchfork to.
So you didn't think of a fork?
I thought of American Gothic, so that's what I'm going with. Something agricultural that you sell whatever you grew, you fork over the money. That's all I got for you, Billy B. Sorry.
Okay. Then you're going to be a winner on the last
Probably not.
Wednesday in January. Find out at the end of our live show.
But we are just getting started. We hope to see you on the other side of the break. Stay with us for more Virginia This Morning.
We'll go in the money.
Welcome back to our live Wednesday show. As we wrap up the first month of the new year, you may be looking for a career evolution. Our friends from Robert Half always have their finger on the pulse of up-to-date work trends. Here to share an overview is Jillian Tyree. We welcome her back to our live show. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
So it is a new year. Lots of folks are saying new me, new career.
Yep.
How are they feeling about 2025 overall?
I think everyone feels really energized going into 2025. New career, new me, new goals at a current career that you have. We see that 70% of people are looking for a promotion or an increase in salary. So there are some changes coming in 2025, but I do think that everyone is raring to go.
You mentioned salary because I don't think it's any surprise to anyone that every time you go to the grocery store, it is more expensive. Almost every time you fill up your gas tank, it is more expensive.
That's right.
You get your bills, they're more expensive. So how are they feeling about salary in 2025? I would think that that would be a major area that you're looking at when you're looking at jobs.
Yes, everyone that we're talking to, clients looking to hire people, and then people looking for jobs are looking at their salaries, looking at their entire benefit package. But certainly we're all feeling the pinch, and I think that employers are working to keep up with what's happening with inflation. And I think employers or employees rather are also ready to talk about what they're doing and the goals that they are putting ahead for themselves or that they have accomplished to say, this is my worth and this is what I'm valued at.
Because it really isn't just a one-sided relationship. The employer can't necessarily offer the money and then the employee isn't necessarily doing anything to attract that employer. So how can employees, folks who are out there, really increase their earning potential?
I think you have to look at where you are now, and we have a salary guide where you can say, I do this job, I'm an accountant, and it's worth this in the city that I live in, right? And then just look at the job in your company and say, what can I take on? What can I do to stand out? Or what is there that I'm already doing that is, worth something different? And then have that conversation. And it's a conversation that starts at the beginning of the year, and then maybe you come to an accord, or maybe in 6 months you revisit it and say, here are the things that I've done, and the employer says, we recognize that, we see that, and we're ready to increase or give you a different title change, something of that nature.
How can folks negotiate for that salary that they really want whenever they have maybe had a job offer extended to them?
I would say be bold, right? Understand your worth, understand your value, and be bold, but then also be willing to negotiate and understand that there's a lot that goes into the compensation package outside of that dollar amount. It's, am I commuting to work every day? What's the flexibility to do windowed work so I can go to my son's 4:30 basketball game? How many days am I in office? So really understanding what are the perks to you that don't equate to a dollar sign.
And I remember my grandmother told me this one time, if you don't ask, you can't get. So it's important to ask and see what you can work out.
That's so true. I actually just recently took on a new position at my company that I'm so excited about, but the conversation started in January of last year, and I was really bold, and I said, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. And they said, all right, Jillian, let's work through these things. And then at the end of the year, I was offered it, and I was so excited about it, but it was a conversation that continued on throughout the year. But to your point, yes, you just have to put yourself out there and say, here's what I want.
And you said, it took a year, so
Yeah.
folks can't necessarily want everything right now. Maybe you can plant that seed and just get those feelers out there, and then it will come to fruition when the right time comes.
That's so true, because oftentimes it could be that you think you're somewhere and your employer is like, well, no, we think you're back here. So you're like, okay, maybe I need to adjust what I'm doing, or the employer needs to adjust how they're seeing you as an employee. But I think through communication, you can get there. But yes, it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes a few months, a couple quarters, but you'll get there.
Anything else for 2025 that we need to be aware of, that we can stay ahead of the trend, so to speak?
I would say just be positive. You know, there's still a lot of change that can happen. It's only January. I can't believe it's still January.
Feels like it's about November already.
That's right. But just continue to be positive, continue to set goals, work to reach those goals, and it's going to be a great year.
Oh, it is already a great year. Thank you, Jillian, for coming in and sharing this insight, because so many folks, like I said, new year, new opportunities, and this is the year that it's going to happen for them.
It's true.
Really appreciate it. For more information on this topic, all you have to do is visit our website. That's virginiathismorning.com. Mr. B, I'll send it over to you.
All right, thank you, ladies. Folks, you don't ever have to miss any of our segments. You have a chance to stay connected to us and plugged in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you have to do is visit our show website at virginiathismorning.com. Our website isn't the only place you can watch Virginia This Morning. We can be viewed on the apps Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV channels. If you need the app, just visit the App Store on your device and search WTVR Richmond, and it's absolutely free. Kristen, I see you made a new friend.
I sure have. Look, it's Cole, the mascot from Chesterfield County. We're going to hear all about the fun events that they have been coming up on their calendar. That's next.
Welcome back, everybody.
This segment is sponsored by Experience Chesterfield, where you're always close to something special.
There is so much to see and do in Chesterfield County. I am so excited about it that I jumped right on in.
There we go. Katie Hardell is the Sports Relations and Community Engagement Manager for Chesterfield County, and we are thrilled to have her here. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, their mascot, Cole, is here, too. He will come over and join us in just a few moments. But first, we do want to talk with Katie, because I said it, there's so much to do and see in Chesterfield. Why is now the time to go on over to Chesterfield County and see all that it has to offer?
So the county about 2 years ago started our specific division, Sports, Visitation, Entertainment, with support from the county administration as well as the Board of Supervisors. And we have taken it on to where we have all these initiatives to provide resources, experiences for our residents, and in turn that also provides experiences for our visitors to the county. We do house the sports tourism element too, with River City Sportsplex and Diamonds at Iron Bridge, and then we're just really involved in trying to make sure that we have money that keeps funneling back into the county, and just making sure there's lots of really great opportunities to do some fun things. And that includes having a mascot, which was just, the origins of it was just at a team meeting. Literally, and we've had a lot of fun with the whole process.
So that's one of those sessions everybody's sitting around a conference room and a mascot comes up.
I mean, look at Cole.
And there you go.
Of course, you gotta love Cole, the mascot.
So when you first walked in this morning, I said his name is Cole. It's spelled C-O-L-E. And I said, what's the connection? And you pointed out it is?
The first commercial coal mines in the United States were at Midlothian Mines. It's one of the parks that we have in the county. So we really wanted to make sure we played to a little bit of the history. We actually just even launched a History Happened Here campaign that talks a little bit about Henricus. Didn't know if y'all knew that the Midlothian Turnpike was the first paved road in the United States.
Who
just
knew?
A lot of really cool stuff that, you know, we're just trying to tell everybody about some of the history in Chesterfield County.
And I would think now with the mascot, we will be seeing Cole everywhere, and that includes Restaurant Week, because that is also coming up, and that's always a great time that if maybe you haven't been to Chesterfield in a while, go on out and see what restaurants there are.
Yeah, that's actually one of my projects, and it's super fun. I get to go out and just talk to small business owners, people who maybe even they're just a one-woman or one-man show. One of my goals this year was to try to get some bakeries, treat shops, breweries, along with your traditional dining establishments. So that's been a really, really fun part. I will say a plug with that is if you are a restaurant and you want to participate, Saturday, February 1st is the last day to apply.
Okay.
So we are going out and getting our final restaurants. I think we're on 35, which is pretty close to last year, but it's been a really, really fun opportunity to support the food bank, which is the beneficiary, as well as making sure that, you know, we provide a lot of opportunities for advertising and marketing for our small businesses in the county.
Let me understand something here, Katie. This was your idea to have the restaurants involved.
Yes.
You go around and get them to be part of it.
Yes.
Do you get to sample at every restaurant and bakery that you go to? Because
that would be a good perk.
If you need some help with that.
You're offering your services.
I will say that I am a firm believer of supporting small businesses. So when I did go into Bubs and Gracie's ice cream, I did have their cookie dough ice cream. She also has a lot of different, like, I cannot remember what it's called, but it's like a purple potato that's pretty common in like Filipino communities.
I know what you're talking about.
And so she's got that. And I did have some that day. I've been into bookstores and bought books for my daughter as well as my nieces and stuff. So I think it's really great to know that there's alternatives to just buying stuff on Amazon, and we can, you know, support Chesterfield County in doing so, as well as the small business owners.
And even instead of, you know, maybe buying a gift, you can have that experience with someone and make plans to take them to something. You have Outdoor Fest coming up too. What is that all about?
Yeah, so we hosted this last year kind of in conjunction with Earth Day, but we're kind of kicking it up a notch. We are having tons of experiential things like learn to kayak, learn to fish, rock climbing, mountain biking demonstrations. We're actually having some live music this year. It's on, I think the date is Saturday, May 31st, if memory serves me right. Yep, and it's gonna be at the Chesterfield County Fairgrounds. But it's really, and also Pocahontas is like literally right down the street.
Yeah.
So we're excited to partner with them in regards to promoting them, as well as the Virginia State Parks. It's really a hidden jewel, and you know, one of my main initiatives this year is to make sure that we bring people there. There's a lot of day travels that go there, but also people who visit here for our sports tourism tournaments. Maybe they're a mountain biker. Maybe they stick it on the backside of their car and they get a ride in. So yeah, we're just real excited to just provide so many opportunities for people to enjoy and experience Chesterfield.
Well, as a native of Chesterfield County and a person who went to Pocahontas State Park most of their life, a lot of folks don't know there's a great concert venue over there too. You know, we do the outdoor stuff. Speaking of outdoors, can we get Cole to come over here?
Come on over, Cole. Yeah.
It was really cool. Like, we had an employee engagement with this. 100 submissions, and then it went to the public vote for the top 4, and 3,000 people voted, and we came up with a raccoon. So
fantastic, and a very large raccoon.
Very large raccoon, but I mean, you would expect nothing less from Chesterfield and that rich mining history. And you know, make us proud, Cole.
Yeah, fantastic. This has been fun. Congratulations on all you're doing over there, and it's a great place to live, work, and play in Chesterfield County. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you, Cole, as well. Chesterfield County has so much to offer. For more information on Restaurant Week, you can visit experiencechesterfield.com and then find them on social media at Chesterfield Experience.
The 2025 U-Crops Monument Avenue 10K presented by Kroger is back this year. Race day, Saturday, April 12th. Whether you plan to run, walk, stroll, or jog, registration is open right now. You can scan that QR code on the bottom left of your screen right now. Registration is $45, but that price will increase this Saturday, February 1st. The YMCA 10K training team kicks off February 1st. And here's something that we wanted to add to our community calendar. Team Loaded is excited to present the 13th annual Coaches for the Cure Cancer Walk and Basketball event. It's happening this Saturday, February 1st at the Henrico Sports and Events Center. Be sure to check out This Virginia This Morning Facebook and or Instagram pages. Our Evan Armour posted an interview that she recently did with the organizers of the event. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. If you don't have plans for next Thursday night, come on out to the first ever Ladies Night Out event.
Here to tell us all about it is Alexis Cheeseman, Marketing and Community Engagement Manager at Stony Point. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Thank you so much for being here. Of course, we're chatting. We would love to have a Ladies Night.
Yes.
Especially at Stony Point. I feel like that's such a wonderful area, a wonderful event. Have you already had the traction? We were talking a little bit about that. It's already been pretty popular.
Yes, for sure. We have a lot of activities lined up for the ladies, so I think even myself, I'll definitely be involved in the event.
And what better time to have it? We're coming off of the holiday season where, as we all know, the ladies are the ones that many times make it happen. We're so busy doing for everyone else. And then Valentine's Day is coming up. So this is a time where we can kind of do some self-care. And this is all about us. What kinds of activities will there be?
Yeah, so we'll have line dancing, karaoke, we'll have the Richmond flower truck there, so you can make your own flower bouquet. We'll have complimentary wine tastings, light bites. We'll also have a doggy kissing booth set up.
Very
so
nice.
Bring your doggies so you can get cute photos with them. We're also doing a little scavenger hunt, so you can take pictures at each little event element that you're at and post to socials with the hashtag #StonyPoint, and you'll be entered to win a couple of tickets to Cine Bistro.
Very nice.
Yeah, but we have a lot of good things happening for the ladies.
So. It's almost like a Galentine's before the Galentine's Day, which is
Exactly.
February 13th, but this event is next week. And now we were talking about the line dancing king of RVA. He has an incredible story, an incredible journey. What can we expect from him?
Yeah, so he's very, very bubbly. He's amazing at what he does. I know you guys are gonna have him tomorrow. He's gonna give a nice live segment for you guys. But yeah, we're really excited to have him as an addition to the event.
And there's going to be some great food out there too, because there's no such thing as ladies' night without some of those bites. So talk to us about the food aspect.
So we have a vendor coming called Flavor Fusion. So he'll have hot dogs, nachos, all those good greasy foods that you like when you're out. And then Verso Bistro, one of our tenants that's doing the complimentary wine tastings, she also has like mini cheesecakes and bouchers. They're like savory cheesecakes, so definitely looking forward to that.
Sweet and savory, and you can't have wonderful food without some wonderful drinks.
Exactly.
What kind of drinks do you have in store? Any Valentine's Day themed drinks?
So at Verso Bistro, she's just doing the wine tastings, and then our different restaurants are doing different themed cocktails. They have their own little menu for that. I'll be doing like a sneak peek of that too, a little reel on our socials so everyone can know what to expect for that.
And what better way to get your girlfriends together, go on out? You're going to have a scavenger hunt, which I just think sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. We really just want to engage everyone in the event and make sure that they take advantage of all the different elements involved in it. And what a better way for us Cine Bistro tickets to get people to kind of stop at every little part of the event. So.
Right, and there's food, there's drink, there's other raffle prizes maybe?
Yes, we are having a raffle prize from Dillard, so they're putting together a gift basket for that.
So that's got to be some initiation to get out there.
I think that this is the perfect time and the perfect event for everybody to get on out there and just have a great time with it. And what would you say is maybe, this is something for teenagers and up, or is this more of a seasoned woman experience?
I would say both. A lot of our signature events throughout the year are kind of like kid focused.
Family
so
friendly.
We're trying to experiment, just have something for the ladies and the community to kind of promote fun and involvement.
And this is the first ever, so we're expecting, you know, kind of good things, maybe over the top, see if this could be something that happens every year.
For sure.
Well, we are so glad that you came here. We're going to make this a great success because you know what? The ladies need their night out. Yeah, this is going to be a great time. You can leave the kids at home. You can leave the husbands to cook the dinner that night and go on out and treat yourself.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Lovely.
for having me.
The first ever Ladies Night event is next Thursday, February 6th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All activities will be held on the green and in the courtyard near RH. For more information, visit virginiathismorning.com.
Mr. B, what's coming up next? You know, maybe not a ladies' night for you, but you know, you can still have a good time that night too.
Okay. Wait and see where you're going there with that. All right, he refers to his style as the classic meets cool and is currently on tour and will make a stop right here in Richmond. We wanted to show him some love and re-air one of his past performances. This is the award-winning pianist Baron Ryan. Once again, that's the award-winning pianist Baron Ryan. Baron has just released a new album called There Arises Light in the Darkness, and it is currently available. You can catch Baron live in concert at the Perkinson Center for the Arts and Education in Chester, Saturday, February 15th at 7:30 p.m. All right, Kristen, coming over to you. What's cooking over there?
Well, I'm here in the Virginia This Morning kitchen with award-winning food truck owner Tiara Terrell. I mean, it's starting to smell delicious in here. We are making homemade tomato basil soup and grilled cheese combo. That's coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Now for comfort food at its finest. There's nothing quite like tomato soup and grilled cheese. It's the perfect meal, I think.
I was going to say we should have scheduled you last week when it was super cold, but it's coming back again, so
Yeah,
now
it's
we'll
coming
know how
back.
to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Award-winning food truck owner and caterer Tiara Terrell is here to make her signature tomato basil soup paired with ooey gooey grilled cheese.
Yum,
Hey,
bring
girl,
it on.
welcome back.
Bring on the ooey gooey.
Okay, so I wanted just to show you, I mean, this is not rocket science, but I wanted to show you some ways maybe to amp it up a little bit.
Good.
Or to make it simpler so that maybe the men can cook it or the kids can cook it.
I like how that sounds.
Okay, so.
All right, it's going to have to be pretty simple for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, okay. Well, let's start. So we'll have, these are Roma tomatoes.
Yeah.
So I use these.
And
They're
you see these in the wintertime in the store.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're not grainy.
And
they're not mushy.
They're not plastic.
Right. And so I'll take these and just put them in a bowl. So we
Okay.
just cut them just to size because we are going to take these raw tomatoes and we're going to roast them.
Okay.
And so once we do that,
So roasting is going to kick it up a little
it's
bit.
going to kick it up, bring the flavor out, make it not taste like
Yeah.
ketchup. Yeah. I like to pair it with some grape tomatoes or some cherry tomatoes. And so once we do that,
So you just pour those in there?
yeah, because the cherry tomatoes are small. You don't have to cut those.
Okay.
These, I'm going to cut these up.
And they do roast really well,
Yeah.
too.
And so they are going to get seasoned. And so this is where kind of some of your hacks come in a little bit. So we put those in there. This is garlic, and it's already in a garlic paste. But you also have garlic powder.
Yeah.
But I like to use the garlic paste because we're roasting them, we
It'll
don't want...
stick a little better.
Yeah, and then that powder sometimes burns a little bit.
I recently discovered the paste because it is more that concentrated flavor,
Yeah.
too, and nobody wants to stand around and cut
You don't have garlic hands?
all of those cloves of garlic. So you can add a lot
What was that
and
you just
for
put in
minimal
there?
work.
This is basil, same thing.
Paste.
So yeah, so you can have your basil leaf, but then you have to cut it up and make sure it doesn't burn.
Did you put some in just for effect as well?
Well, we're making tomato basil soup, so we want that flavor too.
Okay.
And then this one is basil leaves, but then again, we don't want it to burn. Let me check this to make sure.
Oh, it's
that's
coming
good.
there. It's
That's
getting
good.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
You never know with our cooktop what you're going to find.
all right, so we're gonna take this, and I'm gonna get you to mix this up.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
Can I use this spoon?
Yes. So we'll mix that up, and then you want to add some of the salt and pepper to what she's doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Come on, Billy B.
Okay.
We're going to make this work.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
Say when.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks great. You are the perfect pepper grinder.
Grinder.
That's enough salt.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
That was quick. All right. So, Tiara, can I ask a question that's a little bit off track here? I like a slice of tomato on my grilled cheese sandwich as well.
Okay, I can
Could we do that?
Yeah. Let's do that.
I don't want to throw you off your recipe.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
You have connections, Bill. I think you can get any kind of sandwich you want.
This we're gonna dump on here.
Okay.
And so what I did with the grilled cheese is I like to do oil and butter because the butter will burn.
Yep.
So I do oil and butter, but I also
What kind of oil?
the extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn this down.
Yeah.
And so
you flip the bread over,
But-
toast it on one side.
but I did mayo.
That I've heard about too because
So-
it adds a
Well-
lot of crunch.
Yeah. So we have the mayo. Let's turn it down.
And you know, sometimes the butter is hard, and your kid isn't going to wait. They're going to start cutting the bread with it, with the hard butter. So the mayo is one of those great hacks.
I'm gonna get Bill some tomato slices.
Yeah, just a little for my sandwich.
Absolutely.
Just my side. You don't have to do it for Amy.
Half of the sandwich. Okay. Do you want it seasoned? Because you do.
I'm going to leave that up to you.
Okay. All right. Let's season it.
You're the chef.
We're just season half of it. We're doing.
Yeah.
We're creating as we go.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All right. So we're gonna just do a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm gonna do a little basil.
On the sandwich. Now that's something
On
I've
the
not
sandwich.
done before.
There we go. See?
Adding these layers of flavors.
Now, I'll show you why we do the mayo. It helps it not to burn.
Okay.
And so it makes it golden and pretty. I sometimes add a lid to it. And another trick is just a splash of water.
Ooh, a
So
little
what does the lid do? What is that?
So now it's going to steam. Yeah, and then the cheese is going to melt faster.
See?
So we got that.
These hacks.
See, and that was just a couple of drops of water.
Yeah, just because you don't want it to get wet. You don't
Okay.
want a soggy sandwich. So we have this seasoned, and we pop it in the oven. So you're just going to do it like at 400 degrees.
Oh, look at those chef hands.
The magic of TV.
Because we're on TV. Yeah, so then
and
it
they
comes
smell
out
so good.
like this. And these are our whole tomatoes. They're big, and these are our slices. And we're going to make this soup in the blender.
Oh, yum.
All right, so we're going to go right over here. And we have our grilled cheese going. It has that down on low.
You really want that tomato, don't you?
Oh, that is good.
Okay, let's dump this in. And we use parchment paper or the sill pad. Either way, we just want it not to stick.
Those tomatoes are great. Just I could snack on those.
All right, so we have our tomatoes in here that are roasted and seasoned. This is roasted red pepper.
Oh, yum.
So this is kind of another quick trick because we don't want to roast them in the oven. It takes too long. Or you roast them on the stove, put them in a paper bag, have to peel. Too much.
Let the companies do it for you.
Yes, and so let's take this and put.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a roasted red pepper.
Okay.
And we're doing chicken stock.
And I noticed that it was the low sodium stock because, you know, then you can always add some salt if you want
If it's not that
it.
big of a price difference
Yeah.
with the low sodium or the organic, then just get that. Try to make it a little better for you. And we're making this so that we're not buying canned soup.
Yeah, and there's a lot of sodium
A lot of
in that.
sodium, a lot of things that we don't know. Now this blender actually, you blend it in here and you do it for like 5 minutes
Okay.
and it gets warm
Okay.
and it cooks it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the actual friction and everything?
The actual friction.
Yeah.
And so you actually will do this for 5 minutes. It's kind of loud.
That's okay.
That was
But it
TV
will-
5 minutes.
Yeah, TV
Okay.
5 minutes, but it'll warm up for you.
Okay.
And it's amazing. And then after you do that, and it kind of does it for 5 minutes, and it warms up, then you add a little cream
Okay.
towards the end.
Because you don't want it to curdle if
don't
you
want
put
it
it
to
in
curdle.
too early.
Yeah. So we just kind of want it to be a little creamy, and you can do it, to taste or whatever you like. Let's check our grilled cheese.
Yum.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. so
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
coming
take that
along
out.
beautifully.
Yep. That's gorgeous.
So then you have your tomato basil soup, which I just put it on the stove, but you actually can just pour it straight from the blender into your bowl.
Beautiful.
And then now we're gonna kind of plate and assemble.
Okay.
All right, so you have your soup. Well, I'll do a small bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because
we got a staff here.
Okay,
We have to share
If
sometimes.
Amy and I eat it all, there'll be revolution.
but let's see. I'm gonna clean this up because we need to cut our sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich is getting hot. There we go.
Okay, we will move it.
Now with the soup, you can add your toppings, and we can do Parmesan cheese if you
Yum.
like.
Yes,
You
please.
can do sour
More cheese, please.
if you like.
Yum.
You can do croutons if you like.
Yes.
So all of that goes on there.
Get that sandwich.
Do you want some cheese, Bill?
Yeah, I want everything you got.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right here and set the sandwich here so we can cut it.
Okay.
And I'll switch spaces with
Sure.
you. Okay.
Let's switch.
See what side you have. I'll cut it. I like to cut it in a diagonal, but because you had your tomatoes on there, I'll just do it right
Yeah,
in
we'll
the
just do
middle.
a plain cut. We won't do the fancy cut like we normally do.
Okay.
All right, Tara's not going to pack things up just yet. we're going to try this and stick around. In the meantime, if you want more information on the food services that Tierra 7 provides, just visit our show website early this afternoon at virginiathismorning.com.
While you were talking, I don't know if you saw the ooey gooey, but we cannot wait to eat that. Kristen, we're going to save some for you too, but we'll send it your way now before we head to break.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I can smell it. It smells so good. Now here's a look ahead to what's happening tomorrow. He's known as the Line Dance King, RVA. We were talking about it earlier. He's taking part in the Ladies' Night event at Stony Point that we just told you about. Kamel Patton will be here live and will help Mr. B and Amy learn the two-step. And keeping with the dance theme, he was known as the King of Pop. Broadway in Richmond presents MJ, the musical that's based on the life of Michael Jackson. We'll talk with one of the stars from the show. And coming up after the break, we'll find out if Amy got this week's phrase correct.
Earlier in the show, we gave you the phrase, fork over the money. You probably know what it means, but let's find out where that comes from. All right, originally meant manual labor or maybe working in agriculture with a garden fork. By the 19th century, it was used by gamblers to demand payment for a lost debt. I don't know how she got that one. And that's where that comes from. I don't know. I'm wondering if somebody was sneaking around my desk looking at my notes.
Look, sometimes it pays to be a word nerd, Bill, because I picture American Gothic, thank you very much, art, with pitchfork, and that's all I had for you, and it worked out this time.
Really? Really? You figured that one out? I was like, I'm looking at this and nobody will ever. Did you have any?
No, I didn't.
No.
Well, the fact that you reiterated the money at the end, I was like, oh, darn, I really thought she had that one. But yes, she did.
All right, she got it right.
It's a point. So I would say that everyone wins today with the soup.
So delicious.
So we have some pieces of grilled cheese if you all wanted to take a little piece. I think this one has tomatoes.
That one has the tomatoes on it.
And the dipping is the best part.
Oh, delicious.
Love it.
Oh, that is so good. So, you know, you kind of improvise for me. Obviously, at home, you can kind of change it up a little bit and everything. And like you said, make it easy, so easy even I could do it.
Right. The mayo helps it not to burn.
Yeah.
And then some of these tricks, when you add the tomato or other things inside, it makes it more of a hearty meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the roasting gives it a little kick, too.
Yes.
The roasting of the tomatoes
Yes.
makes a big difference.
And you put the basil on the sandwich, which I had never done before, but sprinkle that in there. Mr. B, you're going to love this sandwich. It is going to be maybe
tomatoes in it.
the best grilled cheese sandwich that you've had. Taste that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So good.
I would say that it is, you know.
Now, what kind of cheeses do we use again?
So I use Kobe Jack because I like the color. Cheddar cheese also is a fan favorite, but the provolone gives it that pull a little bit. You can get the sliced mozzarella as well, but I like provolone. I like the kind of the smokiness of the provolone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what puts the ooey gooey in
Yeah.
it. And there are no complaints from us. That is delicious ooey gooey.
I love all the toppings too with the croutons. For some reason, I didn't think of that. I've been using the sour cream and cheese, but croutons gives it a little extra crunch.
Sour cream one.
Go ahead. Want to make sure that this is custom to your taste.
There we go.
There we go.
It makes it fun. And when I found something that I think the kids liked, then I'm like,
And then you gotta run with it.
yeah, because it's healthy, and because you're doing it yourself, then you can control what goes in it.
Plus, you know, food is love. And you make that memory. It's like, oh, we had a snow day or whatever, and we had tomato basil and grilled cheese.
It's a simple meal, but it can take you back. I mean, it takes me back to when I was about 8, lying on my grandmother's sofa when I was maybe not feeling so good, and she made me grilled cheese and tomato soup, you know, and it is comforting. and you remember that forever. So thanks for making memories with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you to all our guests today, and thank you for watching Virginia This Morning. We return tomorrow live at 8:56 a.m.
Enjoy a wonderful Wednesday. We will see you on Thursday. In the meantime, let's eat some soup.
Woohoo!